What's going on, everyone? From LowKick MMA, my name is Danny Podolsky, and I'm joined with Caio Bigfoot Machado, set to return to the UFC Octagon on April 27th when he takes on Dante Hayes. Caio, thank you so much for taking the time.
Hey Danny, how are you doing? Thanks for having me on the show again. And yeah, next week we're ready to square off, and I'm excited for it.
Yeah, so I know you're based in Vancouver. When do you make the trip down to Las Vegas?
Hey, I'll be going there in early next week, probably I believe Tuesday morning. I'm taking a flight, and it's a short flight for me, so I'm not really worried about it. But I'm excited to go to Vegas for 5 weeks, get to feel a little bit of the energy of the vibe over there.
And so I'm talking to you 9 days out from your fight. At this point, how's camp been going? How are you feeling with the fight coming up?
It's been doing good. It's been doing good. Like I changed a lot of stuff from what I was doing before, especially because I was having a hard time with finding sparring partners around here. So I decided to invest a little bit more, going back and forth from Vegas, work with heavyweights over there. I've been working Brazil, work on my strength and my weight. So I had to go back to the drawing board and adjust a couple of things, but like this camp's been really good. I've been feeling really good for this fight.
Mhm. Your UFC debut, it didn't go the way you wanted to get against Mick Parkin. What sort of positives were you able to take away from that result, and what improvements have you made since then?
Sorry, I didn't hear the last part.
Like, what improvements have you made since the fight with Mick Parkin?
So for the fight, the biggest thing I felt over it overall was like I said it before, but like after the container there was so much pressure lift that I kind of went too relaxed with the container fight, to the UFC fight. You know, for when the like I missed that fire and I was still losing and getting the I was have to thinking over that again. Brought me back in, brought that fire and the hunger back to me. That's really important. And besides that, just being able to, I felt like I needed to work with other heavyweights. I needed to feel the energy, feel the pressure, feel the weight that I wasn't really able to get here in Vancouver. And that was a big part of how the fight paid off and how I wasn't able to move around, especially when I was getting the clinch on the against the cage or on the ground. So I had to add the extra weight on my train sessions to be able to move freely. And it's been working out. I'm feeling really good. I'm stronger right now, and I'm ready to go.
Yeah, so I know you train in Canada and Vancouver at Franco Kickboxing, but you mentioned also going to Vegas, going to Brazil. Who've been your main training partners for this camp?
Can you repeat again? We were cutting a little
Yeah,
bit.
who've been your main training partners for this camp?
So my main guy right now for this game is being Carl Williams. He just fought Justin Taffa on the UFC last month. I've been going to stream for sure with the guys over there, and like, he's been doing his camp over there. Also, I've been working with Tim Johnson and Jamal Pogues, Sergey Spivak, and Roy Nelson in the room here and there too. So a lot of good heavyweights around. But Proud, the guy that clicked right away with me, and he came to Canada last week to help out with the final week of sparring here. So it was really good to have him around. And as I said, that weight and that power that the heavyweights can deliver is different. So being able to feel that, it got me way more confident coming forward to the next fight.
Yeah, and of the names you mentioned, a guy like Carl Williams picked up a big win. When you see fighters who you're training with succeed, how does that kind of inspire you to follow their lead?
Oh, it's great. Like, I'm if we're as soon as I see a guy that's trying to getting those together, get their work, that they work recognized, it's really good. Like we can see that what we are doing is working. So it's nice to see and moving forward gets me even more confident in this next fight.
Yeah, and then when you look at the fight with Dontel Mays, have you gone to watch the footage on him, and what do you think gives you the advantage over him?
It's gonna be about speeding cardio. Like Nate's the big guy. He's long too. So I know it's gonna be a guy that's hard to get the reach on, but he's slow on the movement, and I don't think his tank is as big as mine. So as the fight goes, I'm gonna be able to work in and out, and more I move, more he's gonna get tired. And once he gets tired, the fight's over. Also, like I see the script before, big guy trying to punch me over, he's not being able to find me. Then the big heavyweight start turning into a wrestler, and if one that happens, especially for a guy like Mason, not really a guy that puts well on the ground, I know it's gonna be game over for him.
Mhm. So you mentioned that in your first UFC fight that you almost felt too relaxed. Do you feel like I know what to expect on fight week? Kind of a different mindset going in.
I have that fire and that hunger again on me. Like I'm feeling, I'm going to this fight, this do or die. That's if I don't lose this fight, I might as well get caught. So I'm feeling like that's that putting everything in the line again, and I love it. I'm hungry. I'm excited. I'm ready to go or try to be pushing myself every day. If I'm feeling good, I go and push myself. If I'm feeling like shit, I go and push myself. So that's the mentality I'm going to bring to the fight. I'm going to bring the warriors. It's going down the first minute, or we're going to spend 15 minutes. I'm going to be in his face, and I'm going to be hungry to take W.
Mark third straight fight at the UFC Apex, including the Contender Series. How do you feel about going back to the Apex? That place starting to feel like hoping to get back in front of
So
fans.
this 1 second, I just get another call. Sorry,
No worries, no worries.
sorry. Just can you repeat the question so we
Yeah,
go from
yeah.
there? I just got
So
a call.
no worries. So your first marks your third straight fight at the UFC Apex. Is that place starting to feel like home to you, or are you hoping to fight in front of the fans?
Hope not. Like there's good points on being Vegas because we got to use API. We have all this structure. We are familiar with the city, but everyone saw last weekend how the crowd of the energy and every the show looks so much nicer with the fans. I feed off the fans. I can't wait to go on the road and feel like that. Like again, I'm loving the opportunity. I'm the guy that I'm gonna be fighting on the big arena on the Apex or behind the alley. But the Apex looks like a bona fide sparring session. I want big shows. I want a big arena. And after Knockout Days, that's where I want to be. That's where I should be for now on.
Yeah, and I was gonna ask too because I know you train in Canada now, but you are of course from Brazil. The UFC is going to Brazil next week. Hey, how do you feel about that event? I know I'm sure at some point in the future you'd love to fight in front of your hometown fans, but how do you feel about that card this weekend and just the UFC going to Brazil?
Like I wish I could be on that card, but it's one of those things we can't control. But overall, I'm happy that the UFC is going back to Brazil. The card it's getting better, and like, there's a lot. It's gonna be fun. There's a lot of fun fights over there. Like you can see a lot of the person gonna be there as well. And I'm excited to see Aldo back. Most important, and like hopefully we could get a Watson there as well. But it's hard. It's gonna be hard to follow up 300, even like for my card the next week after all the emotion and everything that happened last weekend will be really hard to follow that act.
Mhm. Yeah, and I want to talk to you about you mentioned Jose Aldo. As for yourself as a Brazilian fighter, like Jose Aldo, he's the king of Rio. He's one of the most beloved Brazilian fighters. Like when you were coming up, I guess as like a kid, starting to come up as an MMA fighter, as a Brazilian fighter, how much did you look up to Jose Aldo?
like it's one of the guys I looked up the most. It's Aldo, it's Shogun, it's Anderson Silva, the guys that were like the champions when I started watching the show, when I started training the DJ as a kid. So it's really nice that he got the opportunity to get a actual retirement in real in front of the crowd. The way they did for him last didn't sound like he deserved it more. So I'm very happy that he got the opportunity to showcase one last time in real in front of the fans. So I'm happy for him. I'll be watching every time like Aldo is up there. It's great to see it. It's a great show.
Yeah, I can't wait to watch that fight. He's of course fighting Jonathan Martinez on that's May 4th in Brazil. Do you think Jose wins that fight?
It's gonna be a hard fight, especially coming on of like I think he was out for almost 2 years. But it's hard to tell because I know Martinez is a really good fighter. He's gonna be there. He's gonna be on all the space. But like you don't become the king of Rio for nothing. And the guy with his record. So if there's someone that he can do a win on that card, it's gonna be Aldo. Like I think he can win. He's fight the fight, but I think he will get like a late finish or like a decision there.
Yeah. And then let me ask you too, because Brazil's been having a real good year. Poatan is now a two division champion, not simultaneous, but just defended his belt at pretty easily against Jamal Hill. Pantoja is now going to defend his belt again. How are you feeling about being part of that next wave of Brazilian talent?
I'm sorry, but I have to move locations. I'm just kind of
No,
lot
no,
where I am right now, so
no worries, no worries.
just gonna be able to hear you a little bit better. Yeah, yeah, I can do it here.
Okay, yeah, awesome.
Yeah,
No
here we go.
worries at all. No, we're getting Caio Machado here
Yeah, I can.
at PT.
Right, like that's how things are doing in the background. Sometimes we're doing the roast, sometimes we do at the clinic. We gotta do it the way we do. Can you repeat the question for me again?
Yeah, of course. First of all, Kyle, I appreciate you taking the time in between, PT to take the time again. But when you look at the current state of Brazilian MMA, Pantoja became a champion. Alex Pereira became a champion. How do you feel about the current state of Brazilian MMA and being part of that next wave?
Like it's great. Like it's as you said, it's coming from wave with waves. We got like the golden age. I like to say with Brazilian MMA, where we had all those UFC champions with on Anderson Silva. We have the Nogueira brothers. We had Jose Aldo, Victor Belfort, Mauricio Shogun, Machida, all those guys, and we kind of had a down and fell a little bit more. Then we had Amanda. We had Charles were a champion. So there's so many fighters coming out of Brazil. Like, yeah, if you throw some gloves in a back out in Brazil, we're gonna pop up a fighter. Like, yeah, it's on our blood. We're hardcore people. We don't give up. So, uh, I'm excited to be part of this generation of Brazilian fighters. I know there's gonna be a lot of good fighters coming this generation. So I'm just happy to be here and be part of it.
Yeah, that's awesome. And Kyle, I can't wait to see how your career develops alongside all these fellow Brazilians. My final question for you, April 27th, Kyle Machado, Dontel Mays. Kyle, give me your official prediction.
Yeah, as I said before, he's gonna come strong. He's a guy that hits hard, but like it's hard to hit what you can find. So I'm gonna move in and out. I'm gonna tag him. I'm gonna get him frustrated, and he's gonna start gassing and gonna start getting tired. And once he start making the mistakes, that's where I'm gonna be to finish it up. I'm gonna knock him out, and because it's been way too long that I gotta knock him. I'm so excited to be the first guy in the UFC to deliver Mace his knockout.
That's awesome. Well, Kyle, I'm wishing you the best of luck. If there are any socials, teammates, platforms you want to shout out, platform is yours.
No, for sure. First of all, I want to thank everyone at FPP MMA, my coach Chris Franco. Just a heads up to my brother Jaden Marks that's fighting locally here at BFL on May 8th. And my sponsors, of course, Mutant and Go Radio Podcast, UFO Industries, Particles Gym, Strike Recovery, Rodolfo Salinas, my nutritionist, everyone that's been supporting me for my career. I really appreciate it. And Danny, thanks again for having me in the show. Sorry for the background noise. Kind of got me in the busy week here, but it's always a pleasure.
Of course. Well, no worries at all. It was entirely my pleasure. I appreciate you taking the time working around the PT schedule. Guys, Caio Machado returns next weekend on April 27th when he takes on Dontel Mays. You definitely do not want to miss this fight. Caio, thank you so much for taking the time. Best of luck to you, my friend.
Thank you, brother. Let's go.
Make sure to subscribe to the LowKick MMA YouTube channel for all the latest news, event previews, and interviews with some of the biggest stars in MMA.